Alright, so I got the battery pack already in here, and through the instructions that I got off the delong's website, I fed the wires up through here, and of course the wires split into two because one goes into this little contraption that in reality I don't care about, but the other one of course goes through here to this. I had to pull this whole thing apart, kind of like what I did with the Perfect Grid, so I can squeeze the wire in there as well, because the instructions, like I said before, the instructions do not have no indication on where the wires go, which I don't know why, but then again they kind of said said to themselves, why are we giving you instructions about putting wire, LEDs in the kit when this kit doesn't come with it? I can understand the logic. So with that, I fed them in there, so it's in there, alright. It will go up and down, as you can see. Oh, there's a little notch here. So it will go up and down right there. This one, of course, will be when the kit is standing, while this one is when it's up and about. And I don't know if I pulled this out too much, gave it too much slack, but I think I can feed it in there. Once I have everything hooked up, we'll figure it out. So that is done. This is okay. Then I worked on the inner frame of the Perfect Grid. And I'm not done yet, but just want to give you a preview of what things to come. Alright, so because of me painting this, I had to take this thing apart and put it together so I can paint the whole thing. But then I didn't realize that in the instructions you had to take this body apart completely and put in that little, that hangman setup in there. So you got one cable wire pointing up here, two of them going through holes through here. But I had to take these two apart. Also, I had to remove the whole thing apart because when I was painting this, I had to remove all the gummy parts, the clear blue. So those had to be removed and then placed back into position. The connector to this goes there, right there, as you can see. And I had to shimmy and feed the wire through the connector that connects this to this, and then connects to this. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I can paint this while this thing is in there, no, because unless you want to mask these little parts off, you're going to have a hard time doing that. That and the fact that when I was feeding the wires through the legs, and I really did not want to record this because this was a pain in the ass to do. The connector for the LED goes into this, which of course feeds all the way around here, all the way around there, and then right through the ball joint here. There is a wiring connection right there, as you can see, right there, but that goes through a hole there, and then the connector is in here. So you gotta pop this out, connect it through a poly cap that will hold on to the ball joint, and then seal it up. That was a bit of maybe a satisfying chore. Not too bad, but don't think that this is something like any other master grade kits, or maybe a perfect grade kit that you can take it apart, put it together, leg, arm, and head. This is not going to be like the standard builds like I did before, because I had a hard time getting that unicorn together, and I'm never going to take that apart. I don't know how this will work with me removing the armored parts, because to tell you the truth, I don't want to remove the armor parts. Once the armor is on, it's on. It's never going to come off. So I'll try to simulate a capability of removing the armor, but I don't want to, just to give you a heads up. But I did do a few prepping here and there. Let's put you there for a second. I did prep some of the parts for like some of the armor to see how it came out, and here's a good example. Here's the chest piece that goes right there. That's nice. And on this part that comes down here to expose the pilot. And then we cannot forget the ever so popular GN drive. Look at that. That shine is ridiculous. That is a perfect pink, metallic pink. I couldn't believe how many parts that's here, because it does this little flower type setup where everything is like blooming. That's actually really nice. I like that. Then you just close it and you're good to go. Can't wait to plug it in and turn it on. I really can't. I really do. But right now I need to get the wiring in for the arms, and then for the head. Give me some time to prepare this so we can put on the, once I get the whole kit done, I will then begin putting on the armored parts. So give me a few moments, please. Alright, so I finished up the arms and the head, getting all the parts in there. But there's a part that goes behind here, which I can't seem to find. It may be in the box, or maybe it fell into my cabinet, which I need to look for. It's one of those the green jewel-like part that goes there, because it requires another one of these stickers, so it'll bleed right through and you'll see it. That shouldn't be a problem. It should be here because it hasn't disappeared, and I put everything away in specific areas. So that I'm missing. I made sure that this parts, the wiring was put onto the arms, which was a pain in the ass to do, because I don't know if whether or not the wiring is too thick, or maybe I didn't put it in the proper way, but I've noticed that bending this is not as simple as I'd imagine. I came across a situation like this with my unicorn, where one of the arms will not stay put, and I've always had trouble with that. There's not a problem with the arms not staying put, it's a problem of it bending, and that's annoying the hell out of me. So I may have to end up taking these arms apart and doing it again. Maybe I missed something. The one thing that was terrible to work with was getting the wiring through here. First, because you have a light source that's in here, then you have the wire that goes under the elbow, and then there's a couple of parts that goes over it. Then there's the LED part that goes there, and then you stick this one out here, and then you gotta bend it, stick the other one in here, and then the connector here that goes under this shoulder blade, you have to bend it around, then flip it up, and then reconnect it. And that was a pain in the ass to do as well. At a certain point, I thought, hopefully I don't ruin this. Which brings me to, I'm going to test these lights out so you guys can see this, and I've also discovered something in the process, which is basically a good thing. I'm going to turn this guy on right now. I'm not hitting the button, but after a brief moment, as you see, nothing's happening. But if I move my mouse, if I move my hand over to the actual button, it starts to turn on. This thing has I believe, a motion sensor switch, because it immediately went to this. I don't remember the new one has motion sensor switches. For those of you who already built this kit, let me know. But it already turns on, and it looks great. I was like, whoa. If I push the button, I think yeah, there it goes. It goes Trans Am right there. Look at that. That's amazing. Of course, as amazing as it is, I noticed something peculiar. The left arm bicep light turns on, and clearly under the arm, but the right arm bicep light will not turn on. And I thought this thing turned on when I did the test. Yet this part turns on. Did I accidentally cut a wire? But then if the wiring is done proper, it should have bleed in. The whole thing would have not been working. Don't tell me these two LED lights failed on me. I'm going to pop it out, make sure the wiring is properly set, and then re-pop it back in again and test it one more time. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'm glad I have this, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, I should just leave it the way it is for now. But I am going to see what's going on with this. But I am impressed with what they did with this, because I turned this on and I left it on for a good hour, and it will power itself off. And if I move my hand, I keep saying my mouse because I'm thinking I'm working with my computer. I'm sorry, I'm in computer mode now. But if I move my hand in front of the sensor, which you'll see right there, it's a sensor right in that little, right there. You see? That has to be a sensor right there, and it is blinking, so it is. Look at this, and also it was just blinking a moment ago. Look at this. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And then it comes back on again, and blinks again. Is there like a specific series? It's like those Christmas lights, yes, like where, and somebody was joking with me with Christmas lights, where you press the button, it goes a series of sequences. You press another button, it does a different set of sequences. Blinks on and off, blinks rapidly, slow blinking, all that stuff. But this is kind of cool. Let me see what happens if I hit the button again. Okay, it turns everything off, but the chest light turns on, and then it turns everything back to blue. Do I move my hand here? Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know if it's responding to my voice, hand gestures. I don't know. Yeah, now it goes to Trans Am mode. This is weird. I love this. What do you guys think of this? This is actually the coolest thing. You know what? This doing this offset the fact that this arm is not working. That's my interpretation right there. All right. This is cool. Let me clean up everything so we can begin putting the armored parts on each of this, all over the place, to finally show off what the Trans Am Exia is supposed to look like.